are ready, baby. Okay, come on, little man. Let me turn on the watch. Hey there, everyone. It's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Thanks for being here. As you can see, Apollo and I are out at the reservoir, as I promised, to respond to some comments. We're going to try to get as many done as possible. We'll see if we do the extended version of this walk. Come on, give me a potty break this early. Yes, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. We had a potty break right at the start of this, which is exactly what I like because the trash can is nearby. So I have to carry this bag everywhere. Yeah, we're just out here. I said in the last vlog that I would do some responding to comments, and I wanted to do a longer one because I'm behind. So that's what we're gonna do today. But make sure to let me know how you're doing this time around and how things are going for you. I was listening back and editing my vlog that I filmed yesterday, and hopefully that goes over okay. I feel like, I don't know, anytime I talk about that kind of stuff, community stuff, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells a little bit. Just have to be careful, but yeah, mainly because I want to make sure that anybody that I actually like connect with, it's because sometimes I end up being vague, and I always worry, like, does someone that follows me and interacts with me or I engage with on Instagram or just one-on-one, I would hate if someone was like, is he talking about me? And no, never. I never would, and if I did have something to say, I would have talked to you directly. So yeah, I always just, but I've found in the past that I really don't have anything to worry about, but that's just my nature, I suppose. I'm like, ooh, I want to be honest and I want to be real and I want to, say what I got to say, but then sometimes I'm also like, oh, this way, come on. And yeah, me and Apollo are doing just fine. That rattlesnake situation was wild. I went back and I had to, listen to it and edit out the parts, edit out when I went to go tell that guy about it and stuff. And, oh my gosh, that was way scarier even listening to it back than it was in the moment, because I think I was just like, keep talking, keep filming, keep going. But oh my gosh, I was like listening to it, and then I started getting in my own head about like, I have to keep this dog safe, and that's my baby, what if this, what if that? And then I was like getting all teary-eyed, like, oh, and I was like, went over and was like cuddling Apollo after I we watched that last night. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So yeah, after the fact is when the stress of and the danger of that like kind of hit me, and I was like, oh my God. Right away the eyes are stinging. It's not from sunscreen this time. It's from, I told everyone on yesterday's vlog that I have a zit on my nose. It's actually going away. I think I was able to kind of fight it before it really got bad, so it's not nearly as painful as it was yesterday. But I ended up snagging a sulfur treatment. Topical sulfur is supposed to be really good for, and I've used it for a long time, is good for treating acne and breakouts and stuff. And so I was just watching some videos from some skincare YouTubers, and one of the products that was recommended is from this brand called De La Cruz, and it's a 10% sulfur treatment. So I snagged it on Amazon, and it came in yesterday, yesterday evening, and I used it today for the first time, and I thought everything was fine. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Someone was passing by us with a dog. Didn't even have a leash. Wasn't that his dog was off leash and he had it to clip his dog up? Just straight up didn't even have one. It's like, what are you doing, sir? Your dog might be perfectly trained, but you don't know if my dog's a psycho and is gonna run over and, get into a fight. Ugh, gets on my nerves. But anyway, so I got this acne sulfur treatment, so it looks kind of like a lotion cream. You smear it all over your face, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then you rinse it off. It seemed fine in the moment. It wasn't as smelly as I think it thought it was going to be. You know how sulfur smells. But then after I rinsed it off and sat down and got back to work, I could smell my face. It smelled like rotten eggs and sulfur. And it still smells like that. And I think when I rinsed it off, I got a little bit of the rinse water around my eyes. And so my eyes have been periodically stinging a little bit from the sulfur. So that's fun. That's my life. But anyway, yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Hope that last video is acceptable, is fine. I'm sure it is. And yeah, so I just wanted to get in here and respond to as many comments as I could, because I'm kind of in the last few days of filming this style of video before I take a break and focus on putting together my A Question of Reality paint-along content for September. But again, you will have plenty to keep you company, hopefully, through the month of August. And I will be filming some location-specific vlogging, because we'll still be living our lives. But I think that if I'm going to take, a couple hours to film a video, then it's going to be a couple hours to get some A Question of Reality content done. And I need to buckle down and do it. For whatever reason, when it's something that I've assigned myself, or when it feels more like work, even though I'm very excited about it, I tend to just default to let's procrastinate, let's just do a chat. Let's just do a different thing today. That's less time, or that's less intensive. But no, I'm committing to, if I've got time to lean, I've got time to clean, baby. So that's what I'm planning on doing throughout the month of August, but we will be doing some location-specific stuff. And I may put it up as I do it, or just save it all for September. I don't know yet, but there's still, even without that, you'll have plenty of stuff. I just finished scheduling my finish of Inspiration Peak is up and ready to go. I've got my part 2 of Lotus Koi Fish up and ready to go. I've got, I think, 10 or so unboxings ready to go. And then I'll be filming my announcement video for A Question of Reality, I think tomorrow. So yeah, there's going to be plenty coming up, and you'll have plenty to keep you company. I think this vlog, depending on when I get around to editing it, might go up on the very last day of July. And then also me and Katie will be doing a finale / wrap-up video for Summer with the Masters in early August. So you'll have that too. So yeah, there's going to be plenty coming up. But I also thought this would be a nice place to walk, because they usually mow on either side of the trail, or either side of the path, so I'll be able to see if there's anything in the grasses. And this sidewalk is, as you can tell, this pathway is paved, and it's nice and wide, so I can keep Apollo near me without him wandering too far into the grasses. Because yeah, that really freaked me out. We're not doing anything down here in the foothills in that type of environment for a while. If we're gonna go somewhere, we're going way up in the high country where I can see him, or there's less grasses and stuff, like normal hikes. But down here in the grasslands, it's just very, very snaky. Right, buddy? Hi. Okay, let's go. All right, without further ado, let's just get into it, shall we? Shall we, little boy? It's hot today, but luckily we've got cloud cover, so that's good. All right, here we go. Da, da, da. Okay, refresh and scroll. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Keep those comments scrolling. Okay. All right, so going back to my vlog, episode 120, Leanne says, hits pause. Oh, Anthony, I would die. Can you get a window unit or portable AC unit? I keep my AC at 67 at night with 3 fans going. What a dream. If I could get to in the 60s, oh my goodness, that'd be awesome. So yeah, with the way our setup is, the windows are those like crank style swing open windows. So popping an AC unit in there would be kind of difficult. I have one of those portable, like the ones that sit on the ground inside the room, and then it has like a exhaust tube that goes out the window, but I can't hook that up without having the entire window open. I would have to fashion some kind of like plywood business, and I'm just not gonna do all that. And that unit's also pretty big, so it would just, the room would be even more tight than it already is with my full office and bedroom in there. So yeah, I'm just kind of sucking it up. I did go into the office an extra day last week, and I'll most likely go into the office an extra day this week just to get out of the heat, because downstairs it's like 20 degrees cooler downstairs, because that's where the swamp cooler is, and it's just cooler downstairs than it is upstairs. It's an older brick house. So I can always just go downstairs, but when I'm busy and have a lot of stuff going on, I need my monitors, and to haul all of that stuff and set that up in the dining room would just be super cumbersome. So I do go downstairs sometimes when there's a little bit of a lull and I just need to monitor emails or I'm typing something out. I'll just go downstairs where it's cooler. But it's just a pain to stare at that single laptop screen the whole time. So I've just been saying forget it and just going into the office, because it is, you know, an air-conditioned building. So yeah, but yeah, I wish. It's pretty bad. Today was pretty bad, but it comes and goes. Like the past couple of days, we've had rain, and it's been cooler in the evening, so it's been nice. And then I know tonight's gonna be miserable because it's been in the low 80s in my room all day today, and it'll probably just stay like that. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Get it together. But we're doing the best that we can. It's uncomfortable, but it's not the end of the world. I know people have it a lot worse out there, so I've just got to remind myself of that. But yeah, maybe if I get the gumption next year to get ahead of it, I will talk to our landlord and be like, hey, we got to figure something out up here, because this just isn't practical to expect people to be living up here like this. So I don't know how they've done it, because Joe's been in that house for, I want to say, like 4 years now, and he just has box fans propped up in his windows. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. But then again, he doesn't work from home. So he just hangs out downstairs until it's time for bed, and he goes up and he just sleeps and deals with it. But I'm trying to work up there 9 hours a day on top of sleeping up there. So it just gets to be a lot. But thank you for thinking of me, and enjoy your frosty house. Your frosty house. I've been loving your content, by the way. It's just so awesome to see some newer content creators. It's a little hazy today, but it's still really pretty. It's so awesome to see some people pulling the trigger on creating channels and stuff. It's awesome. So keep it up. It's been great so far. And then Mary Sue the Mysterious says, in regards to my unboxing of Light of the Night by Jenny Lee, I agree with you about the stars. I wanted to get this canvas, but I really didn't care for the star charting in this piece. Otherwise, it's stunning. I would have preferred if they made the stars light blue and green ABs to blend into the sky better. Yeah, for sure. And you could always do that if you wanted to, because it is square. So you could always just hand chart and kind of replace them if you saw fit. But yeah, for me, it's not only the fact that they're kind of just in your face white, but also just how scattered they are. I almost wish there was kind of like clumps of stars or something, and then just like a solid background. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna play with it once I get to it, and I'll keep you posted on what I decide to do. Sorry, I'm just turning battery saver mode on because we're gonna need it today. But yeah, thank you so much for the comment. And then a couple more comments in regards to my vlog episode 120. Lisa, hi Lisa, says, hi Anthony, thank you for the company while I kitted up and started working on my daughter's 28th birthday gift, Speak from Jaded Gem Shop. Which, by the way you told me to kit up her kits was so much easier. So thank you again. I love hearing you talk, and I'm glad you and your friend worked it out. Your mom must be so proud of you and your brother. You're both so talented and creative, not to mention handsome. Oh, that's very sweet. What does your other brother do? Is he also creative? Yeah, he is. So he went to school for theater. He did community college out of high school, but in high school he was really into theater, and he still wants to do that at a professional level at some point. But right now I think he's just kind of figuring stuff out. He's been out of high school for a year now. No, 2 years. So he got out of high school, did a community, went to community college in a theater program for, I guess, 2 years. And now he's just, after this summer, he's just kind of trying to figure out what he wants to do, if he's going to move, if he's going to stay. His dad is who I call dad, even though we have different fathers, because he was my stepdad for a long time and pretty much raised me. And so I call him dad, and that's my stepdad that lives in Hawaii, is Luis's biological father as well. So he's not sure if he wants to move to Hawaii for a while and try to start a life out there near his dad, or stay over here. He's just figuring all that stuff out. Yeah, but he's a very creative person. He's more of theatrical. And he also has this weird affinity for like vans and RVs and stuff. And he's converted, I think he's on his second van conversion, where he'll just buy a junker and completely redo it inside and out. And this one's like a 70s theme that he currently has right now. And it's really cool. And I don't know if he's left yet, but he's supposed to be taking that thing on a road trip soon. So yeah, he's much younger than me. My middle brother, the DJ, is 10 years younger than me. And then my youngest brother is 16 years younger than me. So it almost feels like I'm his like crazy uncle, as opposed to a brother. But Yeah, we get along really well. We get along well, right? So yeah, thank you for the comment. And then Mia says, "Hey, my friends, thanks for keeping me company while I finish the first row on A Question of Reality. I will have to send you a photo, Anthony, to get your input on what I did with the stars." Oh, I didn't even notice that you had changed anything up. Did I? I'll go back and look. I'm sorry, Mia. I'm so bad. I have tried a few times reconnecting with friends. I kind of lost to whatever reason, but it never really worked itself out all the way, and eventually there would be a fallout, or we would just drift apart again. Sometimes you and the other friends I have in here are easier to relate with simply because we share an interest and maybe also some life views. Yeah, definitely. I talked about, sorry, I'm huffing and puffing. This is technically uphill. And usually I cut the part out when we just went up that last hill. I'll cut it out so I can huff and puff and catch my breath. But apparently I'm just ready to push through today. But yeah, I mentioned it in the last vlog that, yeah, I think you just gravitate towards people with similar attitudes and mindsets, or you just gravitate towards the people that are naturally going to put up with your stuff. You know what I mean? Like somehow it just clicks, you know, and you don't have to work super hard at it. So yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Yeah, and when it comes to that, my personal situation with that friend, I think it was more of, it wasn't necessarily a big drifting apart. It was more of just not being able to deal with a conflict or a stressor in an adult way. Like neither of us were able or willing to to hash it out in a smart way and think about how important the friendship was to either of us, both stubborn people and proud people, I guess. And so the easy way out was just that's that, you know. And like I said, even though I think that that separation, that time apart was very necessary just to kind of grow up a little bit, regroup a little bit, just time helps. Time helps. But we're back, we're hanging out a lot, and you know, he lives less than 5 minutes from the house here in Golden as well. And so it's been nice to have someone, like a good friend local, just be like, hey, you want to go do this? You want to grab this? In addition to my roommates and stuff. So yeah, it's been very nice. Let's keep reading. Let's see. Have a great 4th of July with Apollo, and don't forget to do photos or videos so we get to see the views of where you go. We have I guess, a portable AC unit in our bedroom during the summer. You need to stuff a hose out the window to get rid of the hot air, and the unit will blow out cold air for as long as it's on. We will usually let it run for at least an hour before bedtime whenever it's really hot outside, just so we can fall asleep. In the rest of the house, we have movable fans, and now we got some cat-proof doors in our sunroom so we can open it up and get in some fresh air without the cats getting out. Have a great day, Anthony, and give my nephew a nose boop from me. Hugs. Thank you so much, Mia. Come here. Mia wants to say hi. Come here. Mia wants to say hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Is it hot out here? It's starting to cool off a little bit. Hi. Hi, Angel. Hi, Angel. Okay, cutie, let's go. I gave him a ton of water before he left. I was like, you have to drink this because we're about to go on a long walk. And then I had some water in the car, and I didn't bring my backpack is the reason why. I need to get that darn water bottle fanny pack. I keep forgetting about it because the only other way is either in my hand or in a backpack, and the backpack gets hot and heavy. So I was like, drink some more water. So I poured some water out into a bowl from like a bottle that I had in the car, and he drank that up. And so he should be good to go. But like I said, we might do the shorter loop around here just to tighten it up a little bit. But luckily we're getting a decent breeze coming by. It's warm air, but it's better than just like stagnant heat. I think it's not crazy hot today. It's in the low 90s, I think. Low to mid 90s, but he's been cooped up in the hot house today, trying to sit upstairs with me on the bed. He was like laying on the bed while I'm typing. He's like, I'm like, go, get out of here. And I literally had to like push him out the bedroom because I do love the fact that he likes to be near me. But I'm like, don't suffer just because you want to be all laying on the bed and being able to be within eyesight of me. Go downstairs. So I'm like, I can deal with this. And I've got a big old thing of what was tea and now it's water. I drank, I was telling my boss this today because we had our one-on-one meeting. I was like, at first today, I poured myself a glass of it's just unsweetened black tea. I was like, I poured myself a glass of tea and came up here, and then I went downstairs and refilled it. And then after like the second time of doing that, I just brought the entire like jug upstairs with me. And then I started drinking straight out of the jug, and I finished the entire thing of tea. And then I filled it up with water from the sink, and that's almost gone now. So I'm like, yeah, it's hot up here. And she's like, geez. I'm like, yeah, I need an AC. Or I need to move somewhere with an AC. I can't wait until I'm able to get my own place. Not can't wait, but one of the perks of getting my own place eventually will be that it must have air conditioning, and like really good air conditioning. And that first summer, I'm gonna set aside extra utility money, and I'm gonna you have no idea how much I'm gonna blast that AC. As low as it'll go for as long as it'll go. And I'm just gonna be like, yes, finally. So yeah. But anyway, thank you so much, Mia. I wanted to respond to, the 4th of July. Yeah, so hopefully you got to see, I'm sure you did, the Thomas Moran video. I think I saw a comment from you on that one. That background was from that hike. And then my whip and jam that was after that was also from that hike. So I just haven't gotten around to those comments because I'm so far behind, but I'm sure I'll see something from you there. But thank you, Mia. Mia also says, in regards to my unboxing of Light of the Night, yeah, I see what you say about the stars. I don't mind stars in my paintings, but that is too many, even for me. On the one with the diamond art, there is an artist. She is gay herself, if I remember correctly, and she has several pieces with man and woman, get partnerships. Her name is Shala Jarius. She also does chubby women, which I absolutely love. Yeah, so thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. When I saw that come through 3 weeks ago, I went over there and took a look because the one with the diamond art also licenses with Hannah, Iterations Crafts, who, I love. And I took a peek, and I really like them. They're very cute. They're very cute. They weren't necessarily my style of artwork, but I appreciated seeing some non-traditional couples depicted. That was awesome. So I hope that the one with the diamond art continues to pursue more artists that do that type of artwork. I hope I see more of it at some point in the future in like different styles of artwork. There's one particular image that I reached out to Ivy Dolomore directly and asked her if that's an image that DAC had licensed or pulled, and she responded and was like, no, they haven't, and I don't think they would because it is technically fan art. I don't know what it is, what fan art it is of, but I absolutely love it. Editing Anthony, if you can go into Ivy Dolomore's Instagram and pull that so you can show everyone. Whatever Editing Anthony's putting up on the screen, I don't know the title of this image, but this is like a diamond. If this was a diamond painting, it would immediately be one of my favorites. But unfortunately, it's some kind of fan art. I really wish there was like some more flexibility with licensing, because I'd love to purchase that from Ivy Dolomore as an individual license and have Jade do it for me, because I just love it. I should just ask Jade, like, I know that you search around for artwork and stuff. Can you please maybe I should just do the homework and send her some artists and be like, can you please get me some more gay stuff on your website? Thank you. She does have one. I've talked about it already, and I've already shared a picture of it, but it's the Song of Achilles kit that she has on her site. Maybe I should just buy that. It's on my wish list, because I love that one too. But anyway, anywho, thank you, Mia. And then Leanne comes back to say, in regards to my vlog episode 120, oh my goodness, Anthony, if I ever seem like I'm being a jerk, please call me out. I come across as snarky all the time. Usually I catch myself, but sometimes I don't. I would never intentionally be ugly to you. Oh, of course. Of course. I don't try to like assume that's somebody's angle, you know? But sometimes I feel like I have a pretty good radar for like, is someone being jokey or unintentionally coming off as snarky, or does this seem intentional? Like I'm gonna tell him, you know, or I've got something to say, you know? And I feel like I have a pretty good gauge on that. So I would never just automatically assume like, oh, Leanne, like, it's Leanne, like, I know her, I know she's not gonna come out of the woodwork and be like, XYZ, you know, so-and-so. So, no, don't worry, and I hope nobody has that worry. And if it does come off that way, and to me, and it's somebody whose username I recognize, and we've had conversations before or whatever, I would most likely reach out directly and be like, hey, I just want to make sure everything's okay before I, you know, get on here and I'm like, all right, today we're calling out Leanne. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. At least I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, I do feel like the last video that I put up, I felt like I was maybe overstepping a little bit, because what got me riled up is something that has nothing to do with me, and, you know, is just stuff that I'm seeing happen elsewhere. So I hope that came off as more of like, hold on. Hi. I hope that came off as more of like things that I've seen happen to me personally in the past, where people have said, ooh, I was just having a rough time or a bad day or this and that, and it won't happen again. Literally heard that from this person, like verbatim, won't ever happen again. And then to see it happen again, just like, that's what kind of got under my skin. It's like, there's just this cycle of just bad attitudes and people that just seem to go out of their way to be rude or gossipy or snarky or passive aggressive with other content creators that they didn't like what they heard or didn't like the topic they brought up. So it's like, well, I'm going to stick it to them, you know? And then they turn around and be like, oops, sorry, had a bad, you know? It's just like over and over. So it wasn't meant to be like I've been personally hurt. It's more just observing just kind of the nature of the some of the stuff that goes on in our little diamond painting world. So if you look straight ahead, I won't ever tell anyone exactly where I work, but if you look straight ahead, all those buildings and stuff, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but that's one of the facilities that the company I work at owns, and I got to tour that last week with our interns, so that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I should take a picture of it and send it to my coworkers and be like, look where I am. There we go. Cool. So yeah, don't. I hope you never feel like, ooh, I'm not gonna comment today because I don't want Anthony to get all hurt, potentially get hurt, because his butt is so sensitive. That's not it at all. That's not it at all. If my butt does get sensitive, then I'll either, we'll talk about it, and if it's from somebody I don't know, that just, that I can go and search and be like, no other comments. Seems like they went out of their way to come over and leave a bag full of dog poop on the door, then I will bring it up. if I want to. That's all I meant to say. And there just seems like there's a number of people that just have a whole tote bag full of bags of dog poop that they're just waiting to leave them on any doorstep that rubs them the wrong way. So anyway, okay, Lisa Noof. Hi, Lisa says, hi, Anthony. It's great that you reconnected with your friend. I was in a similar situation for a few years, and once my friend and I started talking again, it felt like a heavy weight had lifted. I look forward to all your scheduled unboxings. Yeah, I totally agree. I have been in a better mood. I feel like our friend group just is more comfortable to be around, and I've even had a couple of our friends say, oh, it was so nice to see Alex at Waterworld. And I was like, yeah, like, did you guys kind of work things out? I'm like, yeah, we did. Like, we kind of talked it through, and like, oh, good, So there was definitely something in the air, but no one had approached me about it specifically. I think everyone was just kind of like, it is what it is, but there's definitely something in the air, and now that's kind of been cleared. So yes, very good, very good. I've been in a really good mood, and I think it's we'll talk. I don't know if I want to get into this right now. Yeah, I'll touch on it for a second, but this is a whole separate topic about like mental health. What a weird transition. I struggle with not emotional swings necessarily, but like balancing, and it's not even, I guess it is struggle, but here, let me just say what I gotta say. So when I get in a really good mood, and I'm just like, life's going well, things are going well, even if things aren't perfect, but I'm doing good, and I'm happy, I feel like in my head, I'm like, there's like I don't know if it's too much energy. I have too much energy and maybe I need to exercise more or do other things. But I feel like I'm overwhelmed by that like energy, and like, it sounds weird, but like the positivity, I just feel like anxious because things are going good. Maybe it's a worry of like, okay, this is a high, that means that there's going to be a low, But I start to get anxious when I'm feeling really good about things and I've got like extra energy. I start to like, yeah, it makes me a little bit anxious. And I get frustrated with myself because I'm like, why can't you just be in this place and not let it be in a happy place without it being overwhelming or too much? Like, why can't you find a balance of just being in a good spot and being calm and chill and just let that be that? And I feel like that's when I start to like I don't want to say like self-sabotage, but I just start to like I just start to worry about like, okay, there's something bad around the corner, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just start to get a little squirrely when things are going well, as juxtaposed to when things aren't going well. I'm like, I gotta hunker down and I gotta make a plan. We've got to figure this out. And like, I start putting all this structure around everything to try to like fix stuff. And for whatever reason, that feels more tangible and comfortable than when I'm just like free and willy nilly and happy and everything. The boxes are checked. You know, it's very, I don't know. It's definitely something I probably need to get figured out and kind of get to the deeper root of it, because I'm always, when I'm in a really good mood, in a good place, and relationships are going well, and you know, just everything personal work's going really well, I start to I can't just live with that, you know what I mean, and just kind of be in that space and embrace it. I'm just like, oh God, uh-oh, you know, like, what is it? I feel like I'm like, what is it? What's the angle? What's the what's the trick? There's a trick. So I'm being pranked right now. Things are going too well. And I just can't like sit with it. And it makes me mad that I can't just like, I'm like, how do people just exist in a relatively happy space consistently? And I guess I do. In the grand scheme of things, I do live in that space, but like, you know, patching things up with friends and work is going really well. And like, just a lot of things are just kind of moving and grooving, you know? I'm just like, oh, whoa there, calm down with the good stuff, you know? I need to save this good stuff for when I really need it. So yeah, I don't know what that is. I haven't really ever said that out loud. It's something I think about quite frequently, is not being able to accept happiness, you know? Yeah, interesting stuff. We're not going to get into that too deep today. Next comment. Thank you so much, Lisa, for sending me into a spiral. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, moving on. Walk Away Renee says, in regards to my unboxing of Vanity from Frank Cowper, I bought and I'm currently working on this image, and I have to be honest, I'm kind of disappointed. The canvas is not sticky in random places, and there are a lot of trash drills that are visibly gapping. This is my fourth or fifth Distracted by Diamonds canvas. I've had some previous issues, but nothing too serious. I loved this and bought it immediately, but now I'm contemplating putting it aside because I don't want to spend the hours working on it, and it turns out horribly. I looked up this canvas on YouTube specifically to see if anyone else was having these issues, and your video is the only one that came up. If you could please let me know if you are having the same issues, I would appreciate it. I'm also contemplating reaching out to Robin, not for a refund, but to let her know about the issues I'm having because they are so numerous. If you started it, please let me know. Thank you. Love your videos. I'm taking a screenshot of this because I'm going to have to type a response to this one, because that doesn't sound like somebody that's consistently watching my videos, which is fine by me, but I want to make sure that they feel heard and responded to. Renee, if you are here, or we can hash it out just in general. I do not hold any of those opinions. Oh, geez, Apollo, don't do that after the snake yesterday. He just jumped at like a little mouse or something. You're gonna make me throw up with fear. Stop. Okay, all right. Guess what? Sorry, you're on short leash for a minute. Regroup. Settle down. Settle her down. Yeah, no. Did you forget about yesterday and what could have been a tragic event? I don't think so. Renee, and just my general thoughts, might as well talk about it. I think I even might have mentioned it on my previous vlog, that after seeing Renee's comment, which in the moment, I don't know where I was, but I didn't have the time to respond to it fully, and then I forgot, so I will do it when I get home. But I ended up taking a really close look at Vanity from Frank Cowper myself, and felt the glue, looked at the drills, and I ended up putting that in my donate to the thrift store pile, because a lot of what she brought up, just from a closer look after that unboxing, I was feeling some of the things that she was feeling. So Renee, I have not worked on that kit, and because of some of the red flags I've been seeing with some of my other Distracted by Diamonds kits, I am actually, and because of your feedback on your experience of it so far, I'm actually setting that one aside to give away. So I know you were coming to me for perspective, but I actually used your comment to make the decision to pull that one out of my stash, as well as noticing some of the things that you had mentioned. So yeah, for me, I think all of your moves, or Renee's moves, as far as reaching out to the shop, is 100% what the route that I would take, for sure. Reach, and this is just general. I think Renee's path forward is good advice for anyone that's running into issues with canvases. I think it's absolutely appropriate to reach out to a shop if you're experiencing issues, to see what can be done before you just let it go completely. Personally, I I I should do it, as someone that cares about these shops. I should do it, but I don't know. I have a hang up there with certain shops, especially if I haven't purchased from them in a long time, or I just don't feel. I don't feel. I don't know how to say this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't reach out to Robin right away with Primrose and just be like, hey, I know I bought this kit 2 years ago, but I finally got around to it and I'm not happy. Is there anything that can be done? I think part of it is like, I worry that I might be offered more resolution to an issue because I have a channel and because I've worked with shops in the past. Not that I'm some big, gigantic diamond painting YouTuber superstar, but, I just worry that people that know that I talk about products and I've done special unboxings for shops and stuff might be like, sure, yeah, no, let's get you set up. And then I get on here with the video and I'm like, all I had to do was make a quick call or a quick message and boom, I got a whole new kit, or I got the shop to re-render it and they're sending me a new one, or I got all the drills replaced. And then that ends up not being your experience because of what I just said, the fact that, I just worry that shops might be like, oh crap, if Anthony's pissed, we've got to figure this out, Whereas if, Susie Q pops in there and has the same issues, it's like, ooh, sorry, but that you did buy that kit 2 years ago, and that's not something that we can, rectify for you. Should have let us know sooner. Not to say that would be the case with this particular situation, but I just tend to keep that stuff to myself unless if it was a kit that I was dreaming of doing, or it was a project or maybe it was the first time I've ever purchased from a shop, and so that was my very first experience with them, I'm a little bit more apt to do that. Or if I'm pretty sure that the shop has no idea who I am, like I did that with DIY Moon Shop and they told me to go fly a kite. But I've done it with Diamond Art Club where I did not have, I think I ran out of drills. Yeah, I ran out of drills. I forget for which kit I was working on. And they probably know, I assume they know who I am. They're sponsoring Summer with the Masters. But back then, they might not have known who I was, but they sent me my drills like, I messaged them on Facebook like late at night, like 9:00 p.m. my time. And someone responded in like 2 minutes. And then I had my drills like 3 days later. I was like, oh, okay, wow. So anyway, I'm rambling on and on, but moral of the story is, if I personally, if I did not have a YouTube channel and wasn't reviewing kits in a public space and comparing them and stuff, I would reach out to the shop immediately and be like, hey, I paid for this. Here's what's wrong. What can you do? So yeah, make sure to reach out to them, Renee. And like you said, even if it's not to get a refund, I would still reach out to them, but to let them know. Yeah, let them know. And like you said, they're so numerous. You've worked on kits previously with some issues here and there, which, you know me, I'm of the mindset that you shouldn't be having issues here and there, in my opinion. It should be no issues. I was having issues nowhere, no how. So I would do exactly what you said. See if I would ask it, just say, hey, here's what I'm experiencing. Here's the issues that I'm having. Is there anything that can be done? So you're not telling the shop this is what you need to do, but open the door for them to provide a resolution and see what you get back. Because that always makes me curious, is like, what are they going to say? And I almost 9 times out of 10, if I've ever had an issue with any company that I've had issues with their products, sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, sorry about it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll take note of that. For instance, perfect example with Vacation, the candle company. I already talked about what they did, but it's relevant here. I emailed them and told them that my bathroom caught on fire. Not completely, but you know what I mean. I'm being dramatic. But they smoked up a wall of my bathroom and I had hot, waxy oil and broken glass all over the place. And they wrote me back and they're like, oh, that's terrible. We never want our customers to have a poor experience. However, we do third-party test all of our products to make sure that they're safe and, yada, yada, yada. We can offer you a replacement of the candle that broke. And I wrote them back and I was like, no, I don't want another one of these Molotov cocktail candles. I didn't say that, but I was like, I said, I don't feel comfortable burning your products in my home after this incident, so a replacement candle will not be necessary. And I just said, and they were just asking, like, how long did you burn it? Did you trim the wick? So I answered all their questions that they had for me, and I was like, hopefully, this information and the photos that I've attached can help with that, with future testing. I just don't feel safe with burning these candles in my home. And I did, that was it, because I'm not trying to be out here pushing for anything. So it's like, well, that's really a bummer that they weren't at least willing to like refund the cost of the candle, because I've got to go out here and repaint this bathroom. And then they sent a follow. I said, thank you so much for your hard work, and I do, love your products. I do. And so they responded and they're like, if you could send us the order numbers for all of the candles you purchased from us, we will refund you them all. And they did. They sent me a refund for, because of that, even though those other candles I burned and the ones that I have under my sink that haven't been burned did not explode and catch on fire, they gave me my money back for all the candles I've ever bought from them. So yeah, so just ask, let the company know what's up, and ask if there's anything that can be done, and see what they say, and report back to me. I'd love to hear, Renee, how that goes. And I'm pretty sure Renee's not going to listen to this. This is more just us chatting about what somebody commented. I will write Renee back directly and say, you're making all the right moves here, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm less likely to do that. And on the flip side, I also don't feel like I need to do that before I talk about my experience with a particular product, or diamond painting kit, because what I'm seeing is what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing most likely was shipped to somebody else. So at that point, me mentioning the fact that the rendering was poor, or the drill quality was bad, the color charting was bad, isn't going to change anything for the people that already have it in their stash as well. So I don't mind being straight up with what I have in my hands today, as opposed to reaching out to a shop, they fix it, and then I come back and I'm like, it's all fixed. It's like, yeah, but Anthony, mine's not all fixed. And they told me to go fly a kite. So I just talk about what I have in my hands. And I guess it sounds crass when I say it like this, but I typically don't give chances before I talk to you all about it. There may be occasions where I do talk to a shop after the fact, that I've filmed a I'm concerned video, and then I'll update you all, but I'm not going to skip the I'm concerned piece. I want to know how I say this every time, I see the path right there that goes around this lake. I can see it, and I never see anybody on it, and I want to know how I get in there, because it seems like it's much shorter than the thing that we do. There is what looks to be some kind of matted down, like a road or a path that's been kind of trampled down to get over there, but I don't know if that's private property or not. Oh, it says no access to reservoir. Use the West 66th Avenue entrance. It's probably a pay to play reservoir. It's owned by the city, so maybe it's a pay to play, and that's why we're going around it. But yeah, it just seems like a smaller loop than we do. But anyway, thank you, Renee, and I'll message you directly. Okay, moving on, going to my vlog episode 120. Yvette Sutton says, "Hi Anthony, thanks for keeping me company while I'm wiped out with COVID." Oh no! I'm glad you have reconnected with your friend. I totally understand, as I went through a similar thing with my best friend, and we didn't talk for about 2.5 years. She reached out and we got back together, and it's as though nothing has ever happened, and our friendship is going great. Have a great time, and I look forward to your next video. Much love, Yvette." Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you got things to work out with your friend as well. It's really cool. KC, that's me, says, "Relationships are hard. I love that you spoke about it too many times people don't say what they want and there's confusion. You made it very clear to both friends how you felt. No one can say they didn't know. I really feel that speaking your truth is important. Thanks for sharing." Of course, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Diamond Stitcher, "By the end of your videos, I never remember the questions I wanted to answer, but thanks for making my house chores go by fast. It's hard losing a friend like that. I went through the same, and we mended our relationship twice, actually. Hope your friend group starts including you more. That's an awful feeling." Yeah, I can't say they are, because we just haven't run into more circumstances with these group settings, but I was very vocal to everyone about how I felt about the situation, and it turns out that some of our other friends felt equally as given the short end of the stick. So honestly, I think it comes down to poor planning, as opposed to singling me or anybody else out. So that still doesn't make it okay, because other people felt left out or not accounted for or thought of or looked after. So I will be taking things into my own hands next year. And if we go on this trip, again, I'll be booking my own place. And if any of our friends want to join in to help, to join in to stay at this place, then that'll be that. We'll figure it out. But I can't leave my lodging and stuff in some other people's hands, because I don't think they have the same mindset as I do when it's like comes to these group settings. I want a bed, and I want a door to close, and I want bedding, and I want to be comfortable. Sleeping on the floor is not an option for me. So yeah, thank you. And then we've got a whole bunch of comments. A whole bunch of comments. What the heck is this? Oh, it's in regards to my wrap up of Primrose from Alphonse Muka. Guys, calm down. That's a lot. Okay, let's get to it. Jeez Louise, hello. Y'all had a lot to say about that one. That makes sense. Come on, this way. Jennifer Murray says, love your honesty and the delicate way you handle not so good aspects of this particular canvas. She is beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Tracy Cruz says, oh, Anthony, I feel so bad for you. I wish you could be compensated for this. I think your decision is right to stop, but the image is truly beautiful. Yeah, it is. I know I will get it again, and I'm most likely going to get it from Diamond Art Club when they restock it, because I do like their rendering of it. If I don't get it from them, I'm gonna ask Jade to do it for me, because I know that she'll do it right. And then Nicole Rouse said, hi Anthony, just so you know, I had similar issues with drill quality and a slippery canvas with Distracted by Diamonds Vanity. Nicole, well, you're the second person that has mentioned that specific canvas. And that's one that I am setting aside for a donation. Gosh, I'm wondering if I should just, I don't know. It's still sitting in the garage. I just have it on the ground with a few other kits that are gonna be donated. But if a lot of people are having issues with it, I'm like, should I foist that onto somebody else and be like, you deal with it? We'll see. For now, it's there. Red Girl's Rain says, I had the same issue with the kit from Distracted by Diamonds, and when I brought it up to the owner, she was very rude to me about it. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I haven't bought a kit from them since. That's too bad. And like I said, my experience with Distracted by Diamonds has been very positive from a customer service standpoint, and just as a shop owner that I've connected with and been offered some really unique opportunities, and really appreciate how they've treated me, which has been with nothing but kindness. And just like I said, randomly just sending me like a little card or a little message saying, hey, we love you, you know, that type of thing. So I have nothing bad to say at all about how I've been treated or my experience from a customer side, a customer service and consumer side. And honestly, a lot of my kits that I worked on early on were Distracted by Diamonds kits that I loved. I was taking a peek back at some of the kits that I finished, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Marie Laveau, I loved that kit from Matt Lyon. I love that kit. It's rolled up right now because I couldn't figure out where to put it in the new place, but I used to have it in my bathroom. And then I've finished, it's not Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott, it's the one where she's driving the Bugatti, the Tamara de la Pica, where she's driving the Bugatti and she has those gloves on. I love that kit too. It's hanging in my office. Composición Monumental, hanging in my office. Masks by W.T. Benda, hanging in the kitchen. So it's not like it's been just miss after miss. There's just, I think it's a combination of maybe a change in manufacturer and me being a picky little bee and being more fussy with wanting a perfect product. And the only reason I now want a perfect product is because I know they exist. I know they exist. Diamond Art Club, perfect, in my opinion, perfect product. Their rendering might not be great for the style of artwork sometimes that they're trying to put out. For instance, some of those Mukas. I'm not a huge fan of their style of rendering in Muka's faces. Like especially jaw lines on Mukas from Diamond Art Club can sometimes feel very, you know? So sometimes their rendering style for the artwork isn't a perfect match, but as far as materials go, perfect. Jaded Gem Shop. That style of computer rendering with just a light touch-up is some of my favorite for old masters and things like Mukas, because you get the sweeping color transitions, but they're sensical, and the actual colors that have been picked are very true to the original image, and the drills and everything are beautiful. Now, do I find her drills to have slightly more trash than a Diamond Art Club? Yeah, but it's not too egregious, and I love her drills. I've mentioned this before. Her drills are thick. They have like a height to them that you don't get with some other resin drills, and they just feel so much more substantial to work with and higher quality in that regard. Diamond Painting Shop. Beautiful, beautiful hand charting. I don't know who Rosa has doing her hand charting, but they're fantastic, especially for old masters and Mukas, really anything. And she has transitioned to resin, but even when I was working with her acrylic drills, loved them. Her ABs are the best ABs out there. They're so iridescent. I could go on about other shops that I love. You know, Diamond Dots I love because not only they have consistent quality and resin stuff, but they're really easy to grab and a lot of times on sale. So the accessibility is fantastic.
This will take us back to Golden?
Yeah. I mean, that's a very broad statement. Will this take us back to Golden? Well, sir, you're about 6 miles from Golden, so I don't know if it'll go the whole way. But I mean, that technically is the right direction. Yeah, you can't just whiz by me on a bike and ask me for very specific directions that I will need to sit down and write a map out for you and then just whiz by. And now I feel like I led them astray. Come back! That's technically not the right way! That was such a weird interaction. Oh, now I'm laughing and tearing up and the sulfur is burning my eyes. Oh, hold on. Will this take us back to Golden? I'm like, yes. Wait, oh God. This 3 days later. Man and son missing for 4 weeks. Story at 9. Okay. All right. So yeah, going back to that. Yeah, there's so many of my favorite shops, and I have not tried every shop, and so there's probably 25 diamond painting shops that have popped up since I kind of slowed down just purchasing wildly, that I have zero experience with, that might be just as good as some of my personal favorites. But and someday I will start broadening my horizons again. There's Diamond Artisan is at the top of my list right now to purchase from. I'm just waiting till I get a couple more finishes under my belt and then I'll pull the trigger. But they have some really cool lo-fi scenes with these beautiful bright neon colors and stuff that must be in my stash. I'm just waiting a little bit. I think there's another one. It's called like Diamond Studio UK or something like that. They're on my list because they do some kits with some really high color counts that Katie's worked on in the past, and I want to challenge myself with one of those, but that'll be a long time from now. So there's so many. The one from the Diamond Art, I would like to try one of their kits at some point. There's so many that I want to try out, but I will say that I'm more hesitant these days than I used to be with just like anything that was new to me I wanted to get, because there's been times where a kit ends up being given away or thrown away, and I don't want to run at such a loss, And so I'm more cautious, and I'm more, I guess, picky, and it doesn't feel great. Not to say that any of these shops I'd have a bad experience with, but it doesn't feel great to have those experiences and then I feel kind of obligated, or I want to talk about them because that's part of, this whole gig. So it's like, if I stick with all the things I love and I know I'm going to enjoy, then I get to just be positive the entire time, and that is comfortable, and it's safe, and it's where I like to be as much as I can. I don't want to be that person's like, I hate this and this sucks and I don't like this and this shop was bad and this shop had a blah 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 blah, when other people might be just fine with it. So I'm like, okay, if I keep to what I know and what I like, then I get to just be sunshine and rainbows after every project, So, and I don't know if that devalues my worth as a content creator, because I know that's what a lot of people look for, is like honest reviews, and I spent my money so you don't have to. But I don't know if that's I've said this before, but I don't think that's my angle, is that I got it so you don't have to. I don't want to do that. I want to pull down every die. I can go into my stash, close my eyes, pull a kit off the wall, and have a fantastic time doing it. That's where I want to be. So yeah, look at these. In the storage, I know after our tour at the other facility that I toured last week. Now I'm all like obsessed with like all the different bits and bobs that go into what we do, and I'm like, oh, look at the basins. When before I just walk right past these, I'm like, these are weird. And now I'm like, oh, that's cool. So anyway, all right. Thank you, Red Girls Rain. I appreciate it. I appreciate your comment. That sucks that you had that experience. I don't know. You make the call that you need to make based off your experience. I'm not here to convince you one way or another. And then Lisa says, I don't think you're being picky at all. I think we pay top dollar for these canvases and should always get a top quality product. You address this gently and with class, letting go. Thank you. Letting go of a canvas is hard. I had to throw one away a couple months ago and it hurt. I make $19 an hour and traded almost 5 hours of my life to buy it. Letting it go was very disappointing, to say the least. Happy 4th of July, Anthony. Please stay safe. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And that's absolutely true. Like, these aren't just, it isn't like buying a coloring page or a coloring book from the dollar store or something. Like, these are usually pretty pricey projects, especially when we're talking about like the premium kits that are from smaller shops, and the shipping, my gosh, the shipping. So yeah, it's a really tough, and I think that's a good reason for me to want to talk about the shops and products and canvases that I really do have a consistently great experience with, because then I do know that if you watch my video where I'm going on and on, I love this, I like this, XYZ, this, that, and the other, that if you go to pick up that canvas, that you're going to have a similar experience, and I don't have to worry about like, hopefully they get a good one, you know what I mean? Because that's not fair to people that are working their butts off to be able to have a little enjoyment and relaxation time and stuff with diamond painting. So even if I'm not the channel where I'm sampling and testing and trialing a bunch of different kits, at least, the kits that are here that I'm talking positively about, I'm really standing behind the quality of the canvas, However, I guess what I could say is if there are shops that you personally have been considering, or you're like, someday I will get one of these, but you want to know more, or you do take value in my rundown of what I think of kits, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to put a short list together. And if I see people mentioning the same shops a couple of times or a few times, then obviously I'll bump them up and those will be the first ones I go with, because maybe that would be helpful rather than me just buying kits blindly from from different shops. Make it focused on where you've been considering buying, but you're not sure if it's worth it. Because the way I normally do it is I'll just watch other people's videos, or I'm on Instagram and I'll see a shop name that I've never heard of before. This is what I used to do. And I would just go over there and snag one. So if there are some shops that you want some more info on, let me know and I'll do my best. But yeah, the next one that I'll be working on that I haven't done an official review of yet is the Creativity Squirrel. I've worked on a canvas from the Creativity Squirrel before. It was a round drill canvas, and I was running into, and we talked about this this was last year, I think. I was running into a little bit of gapping with the round drills. It felt like either the printed canvas was like ever so slightly too big, or the drills were a little small, or I'm just a trash round drill multi-placer and there just wasn't any room for error on that kit, which could be the case. Maybe it was just too, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I was just running into quite a bit of gapping when I multi-placed on that canvas, whereas I don't see that elsewhere. And Bex was super receptive to that feedback and went back to her manufacturer, and I think they're working on either, I actually haven't gotten an update in a little while. They were working on it. I don't want to give away any sort of trade secrets or anything, but I did get an update, I think a few months ago, with an just like, hey, they took your feedback to heart. Here's what they're gonna do, but I don't want to get into what that is. But I haven't gotten a further update of what came of that, or if she's made any changes with her round drills, or if she's just focusing on squares. But I do have 2 square drill kits from the Creativity Squirrel now, and I do have plans to kit one of those up. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. Most likely the ocean one. I'll probably be able to work that in as soon as I'm done with A Question of Reality. So yeah, that's one shop that I would still advocate for, because from what I've seen with my own 2 eyes and like feeling the square drills and stuff, everything looks really good. Canvas felt great on the round drill I was working on. The canvas material felt great. All of that stuff was awesome. It's just I haven't really worked on one of those canvases before, but that'll be kind of the next one that I want to work on, so I can add that to the list of like, yes, top to bottom, yes. But right now I've got, my diamond art clubs, my diamond dots, my jaded gem shop, my the diamond painting shop, and I mean, yeah. Yeah. So that's that. But once again, that's purely based off of my own personal experience with kits that I've worked on. I really want to get my hands on a diamond artisan kit. I really want to get my hands on it. I just haven't been able to justify adding more to my stash. So I'm sure that'll be another one that's right up there too. But just from the approximately 3 years that I've been diamond painting, those are the 4 shops that I can confidently say, wherever you go on that site, whatever you decide to click and buy, you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a good time. But I'll try to add some more to that list here in the next, however long months, years. I'll try to keep adding more, but those are my my stand, the ones that I can really stand next to, and say, this is all good, You'll have to let me know what yours are. If you've got your old reliables, or maybe new shops that you're like, I was shocked by how great this was, because I do need some suggestions, so I'm not just going in there blind. So yeah, thank you so much for the comment. Mia, hi Mia. I'm ready for I know that there's a sidewalk that picks up eventually on this side of the road. We could have crossed the street and then crossed back over again, but I didn't realize there was, hold on. I don't hate many things in this world. I hope I'm not gonna offend anybody, but I hate those kind of motorcycles. I hate it. It's so obnoxious. It's so unnecessary. It's so, look at me, look over here, look where the loud noise is, and look at how cool I am, most of the time without a helmet on. And look at how cool I am. It's like, it's literally a cry for attention, is what I think about motorcycles that make that kind of noise. It's so desperate, in my opinion. It's like, that's the person whose grandkids got them a t-shirt that says, "Ask me about my hog." It's that. I hate it. And my uncle is like a Harley guy, and so he has a couple of those. I guess that lines up. I'm not particularly close with him. None of it makes any sense to me. And it's the personification of little man syndrome, in my opinion, are those motorcycles. I probably just lost a bunch of followers, but it's the truth. I hate that. Like, there's no practical reason for that noise other than, look over here, look what I'm doing, check this out, and I hate it. Ugh. Hold on. Okay, is this normal barbed wire or good Okay, that's fine. You can walk over that. There's no spikies. So here we are, a little bit close to that dog park that I mentioned last time we walked by here, but we're still not going in. We're on a mission. Oh, sorry. That noise, it like rattles my head. I'll definitely have to tone that down or I'll cut out the main loudness of it, but I'll leave just enough in for context so you know what I was talking about. But awful. Always no helmet, because only rebels are that loud. Okay, sorry. Mia's Life with KFS says, hi Mia, sorry. Thank you for the honesty, Anthony, and I absolutely see what you talk about. That skin tone is too peachy in my eyes as well. It's really a shame since the image itself is amazing. Yeah, it is. But the good thing about those old masters is I can get them done again, or I can have it done elsewhere. So that's the good part. Avery says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Anthony. Big hugs. I know you spent so much time on this, but you're absolutely right. It should be fun, not frustrating. There are other kits you'll enjoy working on for sure." Oh yeah, and that was my saving grace, was Inspiration Peak, which you'll see the unboxing of soon. Or sorry, yeah, unboxing and finish will be coming soon. That was my saving grace because I was so frustrated, not only with that project, but with just diamond painting in general, because I'm like, this took hours and hours and hours to do, and maybe that's my fault for not catching that earlier. But I'm like, as shop owners, like that should really be taken to heart. Is, yes, a lot of people just have these projects in their stash for months and years on end, and sometimes it's more about the collect them all than it is about sometimes than the doing it, or the collect them all is just as important as the doing it. But people are still going to do them. These aren't just products or kits that just live in their box forever and never get touched. Like, you really should be taking into consideration the amount of time and effort it takes, and really be picking the renderings apart, picking your materials apart, and showing your customers that you respect their time. If you are a shop that cares about that stuff, I don't expect a Temu seller or an Amazon seller to care one way or another what actually shows up at the door that I actually have to work on, because that's not the goal. The goal there is to convince you to buy the product, to convince you to spend the money. The quality, I highly doubt is of top priority. It's about how many of these can we get in people's hands and then move on, But when we're talking about some of these more, can we go this way? Can we go this way? I wonder if I'm allowed to walk through there's a Frisbee park over here. But yeah, when we're talking about some of these like premium shops that license their artwork, that do all the stuff, like, I really hope that one piece of that is like, there is no way that we can let a rendering like this slip past us, and look at this rendering back from the manufacturer and be like, yep, she's peach, perfect. She's perfectly peach. This isn't the only instance. I've seen this with other shops that I've shopped from before, where I'm just like, how does this slip by? How does this slip by? So I don't know. Or maybe other people think that is exactly how it's supposed to look. I don't know. It is what it's gone now. So so yeah. Thank you for the comment. And then Sarah Barden says, "Sorry this happened, Anthony. That is a lot of work, but I agree that it's time to put it away. I also really like Distracted by Diamonds. I bet they make some changes after your constructive insight. They are a great shop." Yeah, I agree. I really do. And like I said, I can't tell you if what does this say? No pets. Oh, dogs must be on leash. Okay, cool. Pets must be leashed. Okay, cool. It's like, no pets. Sorry, Apollo. You're out of here. Yeah, so this is like a little Frisbee golf course, but it'll really give us a shortcut to our little pathway over here. So it'll be nice. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I didn't reach out to the shop directly with my concerns. I ended up having some concerns with Spring as well. And so then I just took a really hard look at all of my old kits that I've had from Distracted by Diamonds for a long time, and made some tough decisions, but then I ended up keeping a few that I just refused to let go. So we'll see how those go. I'm feeling confident about those, and I'm feeling confident that I'll get back to saying time after, after each one, this is great, loving this is good, loving this. So I'm hoping I can get back to that soon. But yeah, I don't know, maybe my thoughts and opinions will make it, up the chain. But I never expect any of that. I'm not expecting like, oh, someone will see my video where I had some stuff to say and they'll really take a good hard look. I don't expect any of that. I just provided my opinion, and it's really there to help customers, potential or returning or future customers, make an informed decision and use that as another data set. So that's really all it is. Gosh, there's a lot of strangers over here. Stranger danger. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anything happens. There's a lot of, I mean, it is a Frisbee golf course, but I guess I just didn't think that people did that. There's a lot of disc jockeys out here. Apollo, don't talk to anyone. Let's get out of here. But seriously, how do I get out of here? Okay, I think we're headed towards the road. I just don't know if I'm just gonna have to like jump over some shrubbery, I think. This way. Sorry everyone, I'm just trying to make an escape here. I'm feeling a little trapped. Okay, this looks like something. This looks like something. Careful. Stay close to your dad. Okay. This looks better. Okay, I think we're good now. I was just lost and scared there for a minute. Okay. Thank you, Sarah. And then Linda Salazar says, "Hi, Anthony. Thank you for the honest review on this Distracted by Diamonds kit. I unfortunately had a very similar experience when working on their kit Young Lady with Gloves, which was one of their Tamara de Lempicka kits." Interesting. That's the only Tamara de Lempicka kit that I did not buy because I just wasn't a fan of that particular one. But I have the other two. I have Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott, and then, the other one I got was called Self Portrait. So it's of Tamara de Lempicka in the Bugatti. So, and I didn't really, let's keep reading. Maybe it'll open my eyes to something. "It was my first time doing a Distracted by Diamonds kit, and I was so confused because YouTube content creators, YouTube content creators all raved about the shop, and I thought I was alone in having drill issues and just feeling like the colors, especially the skin tone, were off. I finished the kit either way because it was so expensive, and I shared my experience with the shop owner, but I didn't feel like they were too concerned with the feedback that I shared. I still have another Tamara de Lempicka kit from them that I'm saving. I was going to wait until it qualified for summer with the Masters 2026, but now I don't know. I finally bought one more of their kits recently, City Dreams, which I'm hoping will be a better experience than before. But if I continue having drill or rendering issues, I most likely won't order any more kits from them." Thank you so much for your feedback and honest opinion and your honest concerns. I'm gonna I want to dive into this because we have a lot to talk about, Linda. I'm gonna pause you because I'm fully lost in this hellscape that is Frisbee golf. So I gotta find a way out of here before I start screaming. So give me a second. Okay. Transmitter is full. I need to clear out this mic in order for it to start saving its own independent files, but it still should be recording directly to the camera, hopefully. We made it out of there. I just had to go through a little ditch, but my goodness. They really try to get you trapped in there. I've been looking for, I think they call them liminal spaces for some future filming ideas I have, meaning like just like odd spaces with just like no clear direction and just kind of like twists and turns and like weird dead ends, and it feels like you're kind of just there, perpetually there in that space. I've been looking for spaces like that to film in, and I think I found it at the Frisbee golf course. That was rough. I almost stopped and asked someone, like, how do I get out of here? But we made it. We made it. And I think even with all that fuss, we did cut a little bit of time out of our walk. This way. This way. Do you gotta go pee again? But Linda, yeah, I totally hear you and I feel you, and I'm curious to know what the second Tamara de Lempicka image you have is, and if it's Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott, because I just kidded that up. And I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the drills just yet, but from what I remember, the acrylic round drills from Distracted by Diamonds in my previous experience haven't been the worst, but they haven't been the best either. I did find them to have a fair amount of trash. So depending on where your threshold is with like this is fine and this is not fine, it might just depend. And so I'm willing to move forward with that project with those drills. Keep in mind, I'm doing some personal enhancement to a significant portion of that kit. And then as far as the rendering goes, I found it to be fine from like a composition standpoint, like confetti versus color blocking. That looked fine, although now I will take an even closer look. But I did notice that the skin tones on that one also weren't super great. I can't pinpoint like, oh, this was too dark. They just generally have a more reddish peachy wash to the skin tones. It just generally has a more reddish peachy wash than if you look at the original image. It's very much like, you know, an ivory, light beige, more neutral tones as opposed to peachy tones. So I don't know. But I told myself that given that particular artwork style, even if the skin tone comes out to be a little sunburnt, or pretty sunburnt, then given that Art Deco kind of style, I don't think it would throw it off too much, as opposed to something like the Alphonse Mucha that had a lot of neutrals and a lot of peachy tones elsewhere in the canvas. It just made it look like the skin was melting with the fabric, was blending with this and that. Whereas this Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott, the only places you're going to see those skin tones are on the subject's skin. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be elsewhere in like the sun or a background or somewhere where it's like, what's happening here? So I think even if the saturation or the tone is off, it won't detract from the overall composition of it. But I could see someone being upset because it's so far from the original. So it's kind of, you know, how do you view it? If that is the kit that you have, my suggestion would be to, if you want to spend an extra $30 on the canvas, if you're willing to rechart the skin tones. And if that is something that you want to do, reach out to me via email or on Instagram, and I will get you, I'll get you over, or you could just do this yourself. If you want to rechart the skin tone of that to make it more like what it's supposed to be, reach out to Jade over at Jaded Gem Shop. She's done this. She partially did it for me for my DIY Moonshop kit. I sent her the drill legend, and I sent her the original image, and sent her a picture of the rendering, so she kind of knew what colors were going to go where roughly. And she was like, I would change this DMC to this DMC and this DMC to this DMC. She helped me rechart McKeeling, and I ended up ordering the drills from her. So that would be my suggestion if you want to, if you're feeling like it's not going to be something you're going to want to hang up and you want to salvage it, that's what I would do. Get it recharted. Get some help. No, I didn't mean to say it like that. Hold on. I ended that. Get some help. It'd be like that. And then for City Dreams, I did that over Thanksgiving. I finished it on Thanksgiving of last year, and I liked it. However, the style of that artwork, if you look at the original image, has this really interesting kind of grainy color transitions. It almost looks kind of, I don't want to say spray paint, but you know, it's like feathered with this graininess between the colors. And so when that is computer charted, it actually works out really well because you get those kind of pixelated color transitions. And I think it worked for that. There may have been a couple sections there, I'll have to go back and listen to my finish and review, where I was like, I wish this was more cleaned up, or I wish this had some more definition, because that is the truth. But I didn't think I found it so egregious. And you're not working with any skin tones in that image, and the image is also highly saturated, the original, highly saturated, big, vibrant tones. And so I think it helps to alleviate some of the pain points that you might see in other pieces of artwork done with that same rendering and color selection, if that makes sense. Once again, drill quality, I found it to be fine. And even from back then to now, I've become much more particular about, okay, it's done. It takes 40 seconds of doing that. That's such a weird thing. Sorry, battery died. And then the mic does this thing when it's out of its own internal storage that it starts buzzing every few seconds. And I noticed in my previous videos where it's done that, you can hear it in the video. It sounds like someone's phone is vibrating. And that's such a weird thing for a microphone to do that's supposed to be recording, is interfere with the sound with random buzzing. Because it doesn't matter as long as the camera's recording. It's feeding the audio straight to the camera. So I'm like, why do you need to buzz for 40 seconds before so I can record in peace? But anyway, yeah, so City Dreams, I personally thought it looked good. I was really happy with that. What's funny though is I haven't hung that one up. It just I think it just went away. I think it just went away because I knew I was planning on moving, so I didn't hang it, and it just stayed rolled up. But I do need to hang that one up. Maybe I'll take another look at it, but at the time I was happy with it. And that's the hardest part about all of this, is like, I've been happy with these previous canvases, but if I was to take my own, what I know now and what my preferences are now, and hop in a time machine and go back to when I was working on those kits, would I be happy? And I don't know. So it feels uncomfy to be critical of a shop and projects that I've previously really liked. And the other thing that makes it tough is you really can only go so in depth with an unboxing. You can really go so in depth with an unboxing. You can kind of play with the drills in your hand and in the bags and see if you're noticing any tabs. You can take a cursory look at the rendering. Color charting is kind of hard because some shops, the printed canvas that they give you is not going to be the exact same color that the drills will be. So it might look off, like Jade's kits are like a photo negative. So if you took that at face value, you'd be like, what the heck is this? So it's kind of tough. You really just, unboxings are helpful for like looking at the sizing. Does the size make sense for the detail of the image? A look at the different colors that'll be used, a look at symbol clarity, all of that stuff. Even like the stickiness of the canvas, like I'm sure there's been canvases that I felt upon unboxing, like, oh, it feels pretty sticky, and then I go to put drills down on it and there's like one area that's really thin or certain areas. So you just have to take that with a grain of salt, but it's so hard to like go back on projects that you finished in the past that you're like, I think this looks great, I love this, blah, blah, this is fun. And then if I was to take my current self and go back and be like, what about that, Anthony? What about that? You don't like that anymore. So it's tough, but in the moment, I was happy with what I had. But once again, tastes and expectations change and evolve. So it's just hard. It's just hard. But I think I'm fully realized now as far as what I like. And so hopefully, you know, my unboxings and finishes and stuff are now, you know, completely true. I just don't know how things could get any better from some of the stuff I'm using now. It's like, okay, how could you make this drill? I guess you could make it more sparkly, I guess, but, or how could you make this canvas even more sticky, you know? So I think I've kind of come around, but I still hope that my old unboxings and finishes still hold value. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's a bummer that people are having those experiences, and I wish I could come back and say, you guys, everyone's wrong, they're great, but I'm seeing those same things. So yeah, unboxings can only take you so far, and it really takes getting into it and actually finishing the project before you can really have a more clear and fully formed opinion. So I don't know how much I subscribe to if you like buying kits purely based off of someone's unboxing of them. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this, you know, because there's a lot more to it than that. Finish and reviews are probably the most where I would go to if I was like, all right, I've only got money to buy one of these two kits, which is it gonna be? I'd go and watch finish and reviews probably before I would go and watch unboxings, if that makes sense. Come on. So yeah, I say if you feel good about the original image of City Dreams, it's a pretty good reflection of it. There are some parts of that kit that things got a little muddy. I'm sure I must have mentioned this on the finish and review. So if you haven't watched that, go take a look. But I think around the windows on one of the buildings, I was feeling a little fussy about those. And then, but honestly, it was fine. And I kept the desert one too. But now I feel scared to say that. And then you start working on it and you're like, this is trash, Anthony, and I hate you. So I'm not, proceed at your own discretion. But I'll just say, I don't remember seeing anything that made me want to quit working on that canvas. And I'm curious to know what your other Tamara Dillampika is, because if it's the same one that I have ready to to start working on when I place my specialty drill order, then I might rechart the skin tone and ask Jade to help me. I might just go and do that because I do want that one to look really good because I'm going to be spending a decent amount of money on enhancement drills. In my head, I have it in my head that even if the skin tone is off, it won't matter in the context of that artwork, but I might just do it anyway just to play it safe. But that's going to add even more expense to that kit. I don't know. I just don't want to do it and then I'm like mad. Double, triple mad because of the enhancement drill cost. So as far as not ordering any more kits from them, I can't tell you one way or another. What I can say is when I do, because I will, I'm most likely going to open it, start working it up before I even say one word about it, because I don't want to unbox it and be like, now we're talking, or this seems more like what I was, wanting to find. And then I go to start working it up and I'm like, you were blind, Anthony, you were blind. So I would most likely get it, open it, work it up, and then just do a finish and review and talk about it if it went well. And if it didn't go well, then I would cast it into the sea, and that would be that. I don't know. I don't want to be the reason somebody feels like they've wasted their money. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Let's do a couple more. We're still deep in the comments for that particular video. But let's do one, maybe two more. Let's see where we end up. Michelle Bryce says, thank you for your honesty and letting your viewers know about your frustration with a particular kit. Like you said, this is a hobby, your special time, and shouldn't be a burden. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I totally feel that way. And I'm ready to get to a place where there's not a single kit in my stash that I don't feel 150% confident that I'm gonna love it, Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna redo my response to that question. There was another snake on the trail. It was a little, I don't think it was a gardener. I mean, it was a fair size, but it wasn't anything that was too scary. It was just crossing the path, and Apollo tried to jump for it, and I wigged out because I'm on edge. So I'm just gonna redo. You don't get to see me be a terrified, terrified little lady twice back to back. You only get the privilege of me freaking out. We'll do it like once a year. You get to see me go, ooh, oh heavens. So no, I'm gonna cut that all out. Sorry. Okay. Locked in Diamond Painting says, oh boy, Anthony, it's okay to walk away from a canvas if you start falling out of love with it due to issues beyond your control. This is one of my top artists for diamond painting, and it breaks my heart. You can use glue to try to help, but I understand walking away and just not doing this canvas. Good on you to be so honest and open. It is so good to see honesty in the hobby. As I love large artwork, I understand the time this takes to do. I'm in the hopes you fall in love with a new canvas and wash any bad feelings you have had on this one. Hugs. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, and my poor feelings kind of washed away very quickly once I started working on Inspiration Peak. I was just like, moving on. I'm loving this, And I totally agree with you. That it's a lot of work, especially these larger canvases. And going forward, if stickiness of a canvas is like my only concern, then absolutely I have the Diamond Dots glue liquid that I could pop on there and make it work. Or if it was just one color, a couple colors that were off and everything else was fine, then yeah, I could absolutely make it work. Either suck it up or order, a substitute drill color. I could absolutely do that. If it was just um, the actual rendering itself and the fact that I might need to kind of try to hand chart something to make it look a little closer to what it actually was, if I have that ability and my minimal skills can make it work, then of course I might, oh, this star is looking just more like a blob. Let me add some points to it to make it more star-like. Absolutely, But once you start compounding all of those things, it it starts to just lose its fun or its enjoyment, and now I'm having to like fight to make it something I'd want to hang up or keep around. You know what I mean? Like there's absolutely a tipping point for me, um, and and I've more often than not, I've found that if one of those things is happening, then it's very likely that I'm probably going to see some of those other things. I've never had a canvas with that thin, not very well laid glue. I've never had a canvas with that issue not have an issue with something else. Like it's always kind of indicative of just a lesser quality manufacturing, a lesser quality product overall. We'll just say that. Yeah, I don't think there's been one time where I'm like, the glue is really slippery, but everything else was absolutely on point. I don't think I've ever said that. It's always been like, the glue's slippery and the drills weren't that great. So it's just like, there's just some signs of, I don't know, maybe all of the times I've had issues with that, it's all come from one manufacturer, even if different shops are selling it. I don't know. I'd be really curious to know. Like, that's going to be one of my questions that I want to know before I leave this world is how many diamond, I want to see a what flow chart. I want to see a flow chart. I think that's the right. Let me Google it. I don't want to sound like I didn't go to college or something. Flow chart. You know what I mean. I wanted to say family tree, but that's not right. Flow chart? Flow chart's not quite right because that's talking about like the actual process. You know what I'm talking about. I'll just call it this. I want to see a family tree, and at the top it has all of the manufacturers that make diamond paintings, and then I want to see under each one, I want to see a list of every shop that sells their diamond paintings from that manufacturer, because I think that would really open a lot of people's eyes to like, oh, I had issues with this product from this shop and this one from this shop, and would you look at here? They're all made by the exact same factory. Interesting. Because I think it's so much more consolidated than we as customers are led on to believe. Or not led to believe, but we just aren't told. It's just not part of the conversation. That's kind of trade secret stuff. But I would have to imagine that maybe that'll be the question of the day. How many diamond painting manufacturers do you think there are from between all of the shops? I'm going to say 6. I think 6 different companies or 6 different manufacturers are really at the top. And then there's maybe other sub-distributors underneath or brokers that sell to the shops or whatever. But I think when it comes to how many buildings have this equipment to make these things in them, I would say 6. This is my number. Come on. Leave that dog alone. Come on. I know you look friendly, but they might not be friendly. There's a dog following us. While the lady's like telling him to come back. Come on, Apollo, let it go. He's gone. He's gone. No new friends today. That's my number, which seems really low, but I don't know. I have a feeling. I have a feeling just from like when you get diamonds and you see what kind of bags they come in, you're like, "Oh, that looks just like blah blah blah." Or you'll get a box and it's the exact same generic box that says Diamond Painting Art World on the outside and like a bunch of Chinese characters. And then you get a box from another company, it's like Diamond World Painting Art. And it's like, come on, you guys. And you're both like small shop owners that are like notoriously besties. Like, come on. Y'all have different shops, probably placing your orders together. I don't know. Like, don't play me for a fool. I get your kit and I'm like, wait, didn't I just get this exact box from this exact shop? Or this exact box and kit from another shop. I'm like, oh no, wait. This is the one I ordered from blah blah blah. I'm like, what? Hey! It's like, why are you trying to fool me? At least put it in something, you know? I'm not annoyed by that. I mean, it's fine if let's say three small shops that I know of that I could almost guarantee have the exact same manufacturer and maybe even place their orders together to save money on it. I don't know. But yeah, I can almost guarantee they're offering the exact same product, which yeah, I wasn't super thrilled with no, I wasn't, yeah, huh? I wasn't super thrilled with one of the three. I don't know, I'm probably gonna cut all this out. I wasn't super thrilled with one of the three, and then I had never ordered from one of them, and then one of them I threw away without ever working on it. But yeah, I'm just like, come on now. Like, at least do us the courtesy of trying to like put it in like a branded box so we feel a little bit more like, we're doing something unique here. At least do that. But anyway, all right, well, that's going to be the last comment for the day. We've done 5.93 miles. Come here. I appreciate you coming along. We got through a fair amount of comments. I will always be behind, but I think this might be a good enough stopping point for now. I may, if I can manage, do one more tomorrow before I go camping, and then August starts and I'm going to be taking a sabbatical. Yeah, we're still a fair amount behind, but that's okay. That's okay. Some of these I might respond to directly, just, if someone has more specific questions, and then I'll count that as good. But yeah, hopefully you're okay with the comment responses being put on hiatus for a little bit while I take some time to focus on event-specific content and just, just taking a little respite. But yeah, I appreciate you and being here, and yeah, thanks. It means a lot. Does it mean a lot, Apollo? He says, no, I don't care. I'm just here to walk. I don't know what his voice is. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing, and we'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Say bye. Come here. Hop up. Oh, good boy, good boy. All right, bye.